week's at-home players who each won $100. And be sure to catch all the fun and excitement this Saturday night as another lucky player from New Mexico tries to become a Powerball Instant Millionaire. For your chance to appear on Powerball Instant Millionaire, play the new Fame and Fortune Scratcher from the New Mexico Lottery. Watch Powerball Instant.
This is KBIM News 10 Roswell. Now, covering southeastern New Mexico, Kim Steckline with KBIM News 10 at 5.
Access to facility granted.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The Justice Department announces that it no longer seeks to break up software maker Microsoft, but would instead seek a lesser antitrust penalty. A developing story out of New Mexico has captured the attention of the nation. Reports are coming in of a significant incident near the Black Mesa Research Facility, one of the nation's largest research complex. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports.
Details are scarce at this hour, but eyewitnesses in the area have reported sightings of increased military presence over the New Mexico region. Trains of tanks and armored vehicles are moving towards an area that has seen rarely any military presence since the Cold War.
This is just a regular training exercise. I don't think anyone needs to be nervous about it. It's a drill that's been scheduled for months now. It's not a response to what's been circulating on the news.
The Black Mesa Research Facility, located in the remote desert of New Mexico, is a highly secretive and expansive complex based from an abandoned ICBM launch site, which has seen extensive upgrades and overhauls thanks to government funding and defense contracts. Local law enforcement have been tight-lipped about the situation, and attempts to reach officials at the Black Mesa facility have been unsuccessful. The New Mexico Department of Health has also issued an announcement advising residents in nearby communities to remain indoors if possible, without giving a sufficient explanation.
We'll continue to monitor this developing story and bring you the latest updates as they become available. Coming up next, Northern Petrol unveils a groundbreaking $10 billion expansion initiative for its Atlantic oil rig facility.
At 9:47 a.m., a disaster has occurred at the Black Mesa Research Facility. A full quarantine has been issued. Black Mesa area. Upon learning of this information, the President has authorized the deployment of military units. The Hazardous Environment Combat Unit of the Marine Corps have been assigned to secure the facility and prevent further collateral damage.
Mr. Secretary, can you just clarify on the reasons for a military response to the incident? The public is informed that this is merely an accident.
As you know, with some accidents, there requires a greater caution in response. The Black Mesa Research Facility is a vital component to the defense industry, and for that matter, I'm afraid I cannot disclose the nature of the incident as of now.
News. The River Road to Taos, State Road 68, is now closed both ways between the towns of Espanola and Taos for reasons unknown. The road is a vital link to the Black Mesa Research Facility, the largest research complex in the country. It is unclear whether the facility is involved with the blockage. Austin Reed is live near the scene now with the latest.
Nicole, we are right off the intersection between 68 and 518 here at Taos, just outside of the University of New Mexico. In fact, there was a bus of students who were heading towards Black Mesa for a one-day tour, but were turned down by state troopers blocking the road. I was not permitted to film towards that direction and was told that if I did, our camera would be confiscated. The officers refused to talk with us since. I have absolutely no idea what's happening, but we were able to hear strange noises coming from the canyons. Locals told me this is routine around here, except they usually don't start this early in the morning. We'll stay around here to see if there are any further updates, but for now, this is all we know.
We have just received a major development in our story. The Espanola Police Department has issued a mandatory evacuation order for all individuals within a 5-mile radius of the city. The section of Route 84 from Espanola to Colorado has also been closed. Citizens are told to use only one vehicle and head towards Santa Fe immediately. We've managed to reach an officer in charge of the evacuation.
We were told that everyone in Espanola should evacuate immediately. It was a phone call that came directly from the governor's office at around 10:16. They didn't really tell us what was going on, but that National Guards are already dispatched and are on their way.
We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest updates. Next, Big Tony's Pizza opens new chain in Rio Rancho.
Good morning, I'm Mike Powers. The time is 11:21. We are following breaking news now out of Taos. The following message is delivered at the request of the Taos County Office of Emergency Management and the State Governor's Office. At 9:47 a.m. Mountain Time, a disaster of unknown type has occurred at the Black Mesa Research Facility, causing significant damage and failure to various power and communication systems in the surrounding areas. An immediate evacuation order is hereby issued for all residents within a 75-mile radius of the facility. An on-site military has been dispatched to provide assistance. Make sure to bring an emergency supply of food, water, clothing, first aid kit, flashlights with extra batteries, and battery-powered radios. Follow local evacuation routes which have been marked by local authorities and only use one vehicle. Do not return to the warning area until the all clear has been given. If you are not in the evacuation zone, stay where you are. If you are within the evacuation area and have no transportation, locate your nearest police department or military officer. Do not use telephones or cell phones except in the case of emergencies. Stay tuned to KRQE News 13 for further...
from the incredible Venetian Hotel.
Other details and information on this situation.
Where authorities have just issued the closure of the Rio Grande Gorge Bridge connecting US 64, advising any evacuees still within the county to reroute toward Cuesta instead. Vehicles are still passing through the bridge as we speak after a mandatory evacuation order was hastily announced through local radio stations throughout Taos County. The bridge serves as a critical juncture connecting the two sides of the Rio Grande Valley.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the New Mexico Office of Emergency Management. FEMA Code 1328. Classification, Major Disaster. At 9:47 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, a disaster of unknown type has occurred at the Black Mesa Research Facility, causing significant damage and failure to various power and communication systems in the surrounding areas. This message replaces the previous alert, which expired at 12:01 p.m. Mountain Standard Time this afternoon. A full quarantine has been issued for the Black Mesa area in the interest of public safety. All residents within a 150-mile radius of Black Mesa, New Mexico, are advised to evacuate the area immediately. Take only essential supplies and a battery-powered radio. Do not use more than one vehicle for traveling. Follow local evacuation routes which have been marked by local authorities. If you are within the evacuation area and have no transportation, locate your nearest police department. If you begin experiencing a fever, coughing, nausea, dizziness, muscle ache, pneumonia, hair loss, or any such similar ailments, please contact your nearest disease control center immediately, as these symptoms may be related to recent events. If you encounter unknown fauna or flora, do not approach or make contact. These encounters may be hazardous or fatal. Repeat, do not approach. Report your sightings to the nearest police, military, or emergency response unit. Stay tuned to local media outlets for further information on this major disaster event.
Some unclear details reaching us today regarding the disaster at the Black Mesa Research Facility in the United States. It seems the USA has been placed under a national state of emergency. Yesterday we reported on a minor nuclear accident that had apparently taken place there. Currently, however, several US government officials have spoken to the existence of an unknown hostile force. Our colleagues over at NBC have an interview coming to us live with an eyewitness of the situation in the United States right now.
From what the governor of New Mexico and Department of Defense are currently telling us, it sounds like there is some kind of military presence of unknown origin currently active in the Black Mesa region. This is obviously alarming. We have, I understand, an eyewitness on the phone right now. Ma'am, could you tell us your name, please?
Hi, my name is Amy.
Amy, where are you currently?
I'm currently waiting in a shelter in Chihuahua, I think.
All right, Amy, can you tell us where you were at the time of the accident? And
I was working in a gas station that's about, I'd say, 50 miles away from Black Mesa when the emergency call came through.
Thank you, Amy. I don't mean to alarm you. There have been reports of some kind of group or non-American presence at Black Mesa. Have you seen anything that might tell us some more information on that?
Well, we saw a lot of Air Force planes and helicopters as we were leaving the area. But before we had left New Mexico, we saw some kind of plane flying over the electricity plant in our town, and it was like I'd never seen before.
Can you tell us what it looked like or anything else you noticed that might help us understand what's going on a bit better?
It was moving very slowly, almost like a helicopter. It was about the size of a jet, I guess.
The size of a jet, as in a jumbo jet?
No, like a fighter plane. It was flying low. It looked kind of like a stingray.
I'm sorry, did you say a stingray, as in the fish?
Yeah, it looked like a giant stingray, and it kind of moved like it was swimming through the air.
Is there anything else you can tell us about it?
That's all I saw before we were out of eyeshot of it.
All right, well, thank you, Amy. That's been extremely helpful and interesting. Certainly a bizarre report there of some kind of unidentified flying, an unidentified aircraft resembling a stingray.
That was Bryant Gumbel with an Eyewitness interview from the United States on the ongoing incident at Black Mesa. We're continuing to report new information as it comes in. If you are currently concerned about friends or family in the United States who might be in danger from these ongoing events, please contact 1-800-333.
As the world reels from disaster after disaster, United States citizens have taken to the streets of Washington to demand transparency regarding the events at the Black Mesa Research Facility. The Clinton government has formed a special congressional committee in order for the surviving members of Black Mesa's executive team to stand trial and provide the public with answers. Notably, the former administrator Wallace Breen made worldwide headlines when he admitted that Black Mesa was fully aware of the existence of an extraterrestrial species. He spoke openly of his lack of power as administrator and condemned the dangerous experiments carried out despite his orders.
I had at many points ordered our applied physics research teams to cease all experimentation regarding unstable portal technology. However, several departments continued clandestine research against my instructions. It will shock many to know that the most classified experiments at Black Mesa, largely carried out prior to my tenure, had already taught us of the existence of these creatures. As a result, I was aware of the acute danger they posed.
Breen went on to describe the internal politics at Black Mesa, claiming that he was often powerless from stopping experiments that he knew could result in the deaths of millions.
With respect to my late colleagues in the executive department, I do regret that their actions ultimately hamstrung my effectiveness to monitor and block dangerous experiments being carried out by the Anomalous Materials Research Team.
Worldwide reactions to Breen's testimony were mixed, with some agreeing that Breen was not to blame, and others claiming that he was simply attempting to shirk responsibility for the world's most deadly disaster since the Black Death. Regardless of which is correct, it's apparent that human folly is to blame for the apocalyptic conditions many are now facing. Carl Quintanilla, NBC News, Washington.
The Western Hemisphere is in crisis after recent meteorological events have led to the sudden appearance of a number of dangerous animals of various unknown species across the Americas, compounding the danger from what physicists are now calling portal storms. Over 5 million are now missing or dead. Eminent biologists are scrambling to provide the public with an explanation as to what these new organisms are, with popular theories causing mass anxiety or even religious panic.
As the situation develops, it is becoming increasingly difficult to discount the likelihood that these creatures are not native to Earth. I think the suggestions put forward that we're simply seeing previously undiscovered terrestrial organisms relocated by high winds. I think that's no longer tenable with the sheer volume of life that's appearing in locations following the portal storms.
The President of the United States addressed the nation yesterday, confirming that the severe weather events precipitating the presence of these violent and dangerous creatures were indeed a result of the disaster at the Black Mesa Research Facility in New Mexico.
The information that we currently have does indeed point to a connection between these events. I urge anyone in an affected area to remain where they are. While we are conducting a full military response, I urge citizens to arm themselves, as these creatures are widely reported to be extremely aggressive.
As portal storms continue to appear in more and more locations globally, much of the world's military stands at attention, with some nations even arming their citizens in anticipation of an influx of aggressive life forms. Notably, the Prime Minister of Australia reversed his controversial national firearms agreement of 4 years prior and announced the distribution of semi-automatic firearms to the citizens of Australia's east coast.
It's becoming very clear that we must be proactive in order to prevent the tragic loss of life as we've seen in the United States and surrounds. The CSIRO has predicted that it's a matter of days, if not hours, before the portal storms reach our eastern coast. If you are over the age of 18 and willing to assist with repelling what we're expecting to be a massive influx of hostile and dangerous wildlife, please seek out a government or military representative for rations, protective equipment, and a firearm.
Other nations are following suit, with thousands of weapons, rations and portable generators being distributed by governments desperate to prevent the ambush that has taken the lives of so many in the Americas. While no such plan has been enacted in the United Kingdom thus far, Prime Minister Tony Blair is expected to make an announcement later this evening. In the meantime, you are urged to stay indoors.
Today, as news of what is being called a minor nuclear accident spreads from the Black Mesa facility in New Mexico. The internationally renowned science complex staffs over 1,500 employees from over 75 countries. With little news from New Mexico, world leaders have requested information on the now rapidly developing situation.
The nature of this Black Mesa incident necessitates transparency from the United States government. The United Kingdom respectfully requests news from President Clinton as to the status of the dozens of British men and women employed at the facility and stands ready to assist in any way possible.
私たちはブラックメサに雇用されている100人以上の日本国民の安保に関する情報をアメリカ南中国にお願い申し上げます。
Speaking on behalf of the Australian peoples, I too wish to extend an official inquiry.
President Bill Clinton has announced the deployment of 2,000 military personnel to the now 150-mile exclusion zone around the facility.
If you're a resident of New Mexico currently within that radius, you should be seeking out government officials in your area for assistance in relocating.
Amidst this chaos, NASA has reported the unanticipated activation of an unknown satellite, apparently launched from the mainland United States in the last 24 hours. While this has prompted some to speculate a connection between the current events in New Mexico and this unknown rocket launch, the president is denying any link.
I want to make it very clear that the rocket launch currently under investigation by NASA is, to the best of our knowledge, unconnected to Black Mesa.
Many, however, are not pleased with the tight-lipped stance the White House has been taking, with Vice President-elect Dick Cheney criticizing Clinton's attitude as laissez-faire in the face of a massive national security risk. He went on to say that Clinton owed the American people the truth and a prompt report on the
Добро пожаловать! Добро пожаловать в Это лучший город из оставшихся. Я такого высокого мнения о Сити-17, что решил разместить здесь свое правительство в цитадели, столь заботливо предоставленной нашему правительству. Я горжусь тем, что называю Сити-17 своим домом. Итак, собираетесь ли вы остаться здесь? Или же вас ждут неизвестные дали? Добро пожаловать в Сити-17.